Greetings from Lombardy, Italy. This is the nice view I have here from the balcony. I'll just show you guys, make sure my microphone's working because I recorded the whole video and it didn't record. So I'm doing it again. The things you do for growth, I guess. So today I wanted to talk about issues with teaching Polish learners. And I have 3 arguments I want to make and talk about them. So this video is for you if you're a teacher or if you're generally interested in education, and especially if you're planning on teaching Polish learners, or maybe you already are teaching Polish learners. So you can see whether the ideas I put forward here align with those that you have about teaching Polish learners. So without further ado, let's go. So the first argument I want to make is the public education system. So the public education system in Poland is not very good at teaching languages. A lot of the teachers in public schools have outdated ideas about the English language because they have stopped developing themselves as a teacher. And because they have stopped developing themselves as teachers and they pass that on, and those people that come out of those schools then have a completely misguided idea of the English language as it is now. Another thing is that English classes in a Polish classroom tend to look all the same. It always consists of some course book work, some workbook work as homework, and then maybe a bit of role play or repeating dialogues. It's just basically drills and drills on top of each other. Very rarely there are any communicative activities which are supposed to develop your fluency and your ability to use language as a tool to communicate. And that doesn't help very much. And then you have those people who go into university without being able to really speak English, or they speak it rather poorly. And then at university, the same thing happens because a lot of universities, even the private ones, have terrible language teaching. I'm speaking from personal experience and experiences of my students, of my colleagues, my friends and family. And I'm talking about those universities that you would consider best in Poland. So to summarize, public education, whether it be primary, university, high school, whatever, is at a terrible state in Poland when it comes to language teaching. If you want to achieve a higher proficiency of English and actually be able to use the language, I suggest you find a good tutor or a good language school that can teach you how to speak the language, not just how to complete tasks for your mature exam. In terms of the culture, I think culture is often misunderstood when it comes to teaching Polish learners. A lot of the things that we as Poles communicate, they happen underneath. You cannot see them. So I think in Polish culture, many more things are left unsaid than there are said things. And I have a good contrast of this being here in Italy now and working with Italian learners for a second time. I'm not really a teacher here, I'm a counselor, but still my experience is that Italians, they just say pretty much everything. It's always banter, small talk, anything that comes to their mind, they just talk about it. Whereas in Poland, it's not like that. People will think twice before saying stuff. A lot of the things, like I said, will be left unsaid. They'll be secretive about it. They'll be withdrawn in conversations generally, especially with people they don't know, and especially in artificial situations. I think that's also worth mentioning. And that causes Polish learners to generally learn slower when it comes to production, language production, especially in speaking. Though Polish learners tend to be better with grammar, let's say, when it comes to doing tasks, just because of how our public education system is structured. Another thing is that Italian learners, Italian people are not afraid that much to make mistakes. They just speak their mind. They don't care. They just want their message to be conveyed. Whereas Polish learners, because of how the education system also has set them and set their expectations, they'll just completely stop talking sometimes, or not even try to communicate, or they won't even try to communicate because they're so afraid to make a mistake and be judged. And that is also a major obstacle in mastering a language or even learning its basics. And lastly, Polish learners rarely, if ever, have any intrinsic motivation. So we are told since we are little that you should learn this, you should learn that, but not because you want to learn it, not for the sake of being smarter or being an educated person, but to pass your exams. When you pass your exams, you get a better job. when you get a better job, you can have fancy cars, fancy houses, stuff like that, you know. It's never about what's in your mind, what's in your head. It's always about the things that you can possess. And I think that's very harmful in terms of language learning, because language learning is a process. It needs time, it needs effort, and most of all, it needs enjoyment. And most of Polish learners don't really enjoy language learning, especially English, because it's mandatory. Polish people don't like being told what to do. And if English is obligatory, well, that's not going to work very well, is it? So I think this last thing about intrinsic motivation might just be the most important thing, because despite culture, despite public education, if you want to learn English, you'll do it. You just need this intrinsic motivation. You need to ask yourself questions. Why do I want to do it? Is it only because of the exams, or is it going to make me feel better as a person in my own skin? And it will build and boost my self-esteem as an individual. I'll be more educated that way, because English is a lingua franca, as a matter of fact, nowadays. It's basically like knowing Latin back in the day. If you don't know it, you're falling behind, unfortunately. That's how it is. So just a little rant about issues with teaching Polish learners for today. I wish I could make better quality videos, but my capabilities are really limited when traveling. I haven't really gotten to the point where I know how to do it. I'm just this motorcycle pass. I'm trying to do my best, and hopefully you guys enjoy the content nevertheless, without being too much stuck up about the form. So thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It really helps me build an audience and motivates me to continue making videos for you guys. Even though I have my own intrinsic motivation, the extrinsic motivation also helps. So the view of the mountains is to end the video. Thanks for watching it again. My name is Eryk, and this channel is to pique interest and educate.